The first thing you learn when working as a human liaison in alien territory is simple. Never sit down unless someone tells you where. Unfortunately, I learned that lesson far too late. My name is Daniel Reyes, former logistics officer of the United Earth Coalition, currently assigned as a diplomatic observer on the world of Veltraxis, a planet ruled by the ancient and terrifying Xylarian Empire. Veltraxis wasn't the kind of place humans imagined when they thought of alien civilizations. It wasn't all sleek chrome cities and peaceful diplomats.
No.
Veltraxis was brutal. Their cities were carved from black, crystal mountains. Their warriors wore armor grown from living metal, and their royal family was whispered about across half the galaxy, especially Princess Kilira. Even before I met her, I had heard the stories. Deadliest being in the Empire. Slayer of 3 warlords before adulthood. The princess who once challenged an entire council to a duel and won. Naturally, she was the one alien I hoped never to meet. Fate had other plans. The banquet. The banquet hall was enormous. Alien banners hung from a ceiling that seemed miles high, glowing with bioluminescent patterns. Long tables stretched across the chamber, filled with nobles, generals, scholars, and creatures whose biology I couldn't even begin to classify. The air smelled of strange spices and something metallic. I stood near the entrance with the other diplomatic guests from minor species. Our translator implants whispered quiet explanations in our ears. Tonight celebrates the imperial victory over the Karth Dominion. Seating arrangements reflect rank and political standing. Certain seats carry symbolic meaning. That last part should have been my warning. But I was tired. I had just arrived after a 16-hour orbital shuttle ride and 2 hours of ceremonial nonsense. My legs ached. Then I saw it. An empty seat halfway down one of the banquet tables. No markings. No guards. Just a chair.
Perfect.
Without thinking, I walked over and sat down. For about 5 seconds, everything was normal. Then the room went silent. Not gradually. Instantly. Hundreds of alien conversations died mid-sentence. Utensils stopped moving. Even the music halted. I slowly looked up. Dozens, no, hundreds of alien eyes were staring at me. Some looked shocked. Others looked terrified. One ambassador from a reptilian species actually dropped his drink. I swallowed. Is this seat taken? No one answered. Instead, people started moving away. Chairs scraped. Nobles quietly stood and shifted farther down the table. One noble woman whispered something urgently to another. My translator struggled to keep up. Human is dead. Does he not know? Princess's seat. My stomach dropped. Princess? Oh no. Oh no. Before I could stand up, a voice echoed across the hall. Cold. Sharp. Dangerous. Why is there a human sitting in my chair? The deadliest princess. The crowd parted instantly, and she walked through. Princess Kilira. She was taller than any human woman, her posture straight and predatory. Her skin shimmered like polished obsidian, with faint silver patterns moving across it like living constellations. 2 elegant horns curved back from her temples. Her eyes glowed a deep violet. But what struck me most was the way everyone reacted. War generals lowered their gaze. Nobles straightened nervously. Even the emperor's personal guards looked tense. She stopped in front of me. I suddenly realized something else. Everyone else was standing, except me, still sitting in her seat. I slowly stood. Your Highness, I said carefully, raising my hands in surrender. I believe I may have made a cultural mistake.
She studied me.
Not angry.
Not yet.
Just curious. You took the seat of challenge, she said. My translator hesitated before explaining. In Xylarian tradition, The seat beside the royal table is reserved for warriors who wish to challenge the princess. I blinked. Challenge? Yes. She leaned closer. And by sitting there, you declared a duel. The entire hall waited. I cleared my throat. Your Highness, I assure you I meant absolutely none of that. A few nobles quietly backed away. Princess Kilira tilted her head. You fear me. That seems like the healthy response. To my surprise, she smiled. Not a warm smile, but an amused one. You are the first being in 5 years brave or foolish enough to sit there. I promise it was mostly foolish. The room waited for her decision. Traditionally, I was probably supposed to fight her. That would last about 3 seconds. She studied me one last time. Then something unexpected happened. She sat down.
In the seat beside mine.
Gasps echoed across the hall. The princess raised her voice. This human has taken my seat of challenge. Silence deepened. Therefore, she continued calmly, he is now my claimant. My translator hesitated again, then delivered the translation. Claimant in Xylarian culture can mean champion, partner, or chosen mate. I blinked slowly. I'm sorry, what? The entire hall erupted in whispers.
Claimed.
I leaned closer to her. Princess, I think there's been a misunderstanding. No, she said calmly. There has not. But I didn't challenge you. You sat in the seat. That was an accident. She sipped a glowing drink. Intent is irrelevant. Tradition stands. I looked around the hall. Nobody looked sympathetic. In fact, several nobles looked relieved. Apparently, they were glad someone else had triggered this situation. So, what exactly happens now? I asked carefully. She turned those violet eyes on me again. You are mine. That sounds very final. It is. The emperor himself stood at the head table, watching with clear amusement.
Great.
Even the ruler of the empire thought this was funny. I tried again. Your Highness, I'm a diplomat. You were. I'm also very fragile compared to your species. Then you should survive by staying close to me. That was actually a good point. Wait, I said slowly. What happens if I refuse? The hall went silent again. Kilira leaned closer. If you refuse, you challenge my authority. And then we fight. I considered that for half a second. I accept. Laughter rippled through the nobles. But Kilira only nodded. Wise human. The most dangerous protection in the galaxy. Over the next few days, I learned something fascinating. Being claimed by the deadliest princess in the empire had benefits. Huge ones. No one dared threaten me. Pirates avoided my transport. Nobles who had ignored humans before suddenly treated me with extreme politeness. Apparently, Kilira's claim made me untouchable. But it also meant something else. I was now constantly near her, which meant I saw the truth behind the rumors. Yes, she was deadly. I watched her defeat 3 elite warriors during a training match without breaking a sweat. But she was also thoughtful, curious, even slightly awkward around humans. One evening, we stood on a balcony overlooking the Crystal City. You could release me from a claim, I said. She looked at the stars. I could. But you won't.
No.
Why? She turned toward me. Because you're interesting. That's the reason? You sat in the most dangerous seat in the empire without fear. I had no idea. That makes it better. I sighed. You realize humans are going to think I planned this. She shrugged. Did you? No. Then why worry? Fair point. She studied me again. In truth, I was bored. Bored. No one challenges me anymore. No one speaks honestly. And I do. You told the emperor his speech was too long. I thought that was a private conversation. She laughed. The terrifying Princess Kalira actually laughed. The real threat 3 weeks later, the assassination attempt happened. It wasn't aimed at me. It was aimed at her. A rival noble house had grown tired of the princess's dominance. Their plan was simple. Poison her during a private diplomatic meeting. Unfortunately for them, I noticed first. Human eyes catch details others miss. When I saw the servant's hand shaking and the faint chemical smell in the drink, I knocked the glass away. The poison melted the table. Guards stormed the room. Assassins were captured. And Kalira looked at me with something I had never seen before.
Shock.
You saved me, she said quietly. Yeah. You could have died. Probably. She studied me carefully. Why? I shrugged. You're terrifying, but you're also good. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she spoke softly. Perhaps the seat chose correctly. The decision weeks later. The Emperor summoned us. You have 2 choices, he said. Release the claim or formalize it. I looked at Kalira. She looked at me. Neither of us spoke for several seconds. Finally, I sighed. You know this started because I was tired and sat in the wrong chair. Yes. And now the galaxy thinks we're bonded warriors or something. Yes. And if we end it, half the nobles will try to kill me. Correct. I looked at her. Well, this is awkward. For once, the deadliest princess in the galaxy looked uncertain. Human, she said quietly. If you wish freedom, I will grant it. I thought about it.
Earth.
Diplomacy. A quiet life. Then I thought about the adventure. The danger. The strange, brilliant alien woman beside me. I smiled. You know what? What? I think I'll keep the seat. The Emperor burst out laughing. Kalira's violet eyes glowed. And for the first time since the banquet, she looked genuinely happy. Epilogue historians would later argue about the moment that changed human-Xylarian relations forever. Some said it was the alliance treaty. Others said it was the shared military campaigns. But those who knew the truth understood it was much simpler. A tired human diplomat, an empty chair, and the deadliest princess in the galaxy deciding to keep him. All because I sat in the wrong seat. And honestly, best mistake I ever made.